So I just finished the pergola. That's on another video. And I moved that set of chairs and the table and stuff were over here. And I moved those over there because now you can use the umbrella over there. Plus, I've got an order in for some sun cloth to cover this, to make it a little more bearable here in the sunshine. But today's project is I moved these chairs over here. These chairs are probably older than I am. I'm just guessing, but I always liked them. I liked the design. I thought they were pretty cool. And I've cleaned them up at least one time and resprayed them. I'm going to do that again because they're looking a little tired now. But what I found is they rust. This was all steel, and anything that's not protected gets, damaged. It gets corroded. Look at also these. I've recovered these things too. Anyway, but here's the problem. You can see how much this is faded. This is crazy. Just from sitting in the sun. This is nuts. This is cotton, and I recovered these just not too long ago. Last year. Anyway, this is what happens is when over the course of time water destroys stuff, and you can see I've already fixed these. I'm going to do the same thing again for these. These have finally rotted through. They're steel again, and there's the thing on the bottom there. Same thing over here. So what I've done in the past is I have some aluminum left over from an old sign, and I'm going to cut some strips, and I'm going to screw it to this existing metal and then just reattach it, and then I'm good to go for another however long I can do it. But that's what the plan is. So I'm going to go. I've got the piece of aluminum in the garage that I found from an old sign, and we'll see how it all works out. You'll have to forgive the mess because, well, the short story is that I got flooded. The water it destroyed this. This is my new workbench. I built a workbench, but the water was up to here in this garage. I lost everything. I lost the washer and dryer. I had a spare refrigerator out here, generator, lawnmowers and stuff, but I have tons of hand tools, as you can tell. And I had them in 3 or 4 different locations. Each car has a toolbox. The truck had a huge toolbox, and all that stuff went underwater. So I've been rescuing tools. Like you can see, this thing is all rusted up. But I had other ones like this that are now freed. Like this was all rusted up, and now it's not. So I just have the pile here. I've got to go through. I've got to finish sorting them out and all that other business. And so just forgive me. All right, so I measured the width of that strap. It's 1.25 inches, and I have to have, in order to screw it to the existing strap and to screw it into the frame of the chair, it's got to be 1.25 inches wide, and it's got to be at least 7 inches long, I guess. So what I did is I marked out 1.25 inches here. I have 1.25 inches here. This is well beyond the 7 inches. There's at least 10 inches there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. Now I'm going to try to see if I can do that with a pair of, these are called tin snips. And this material is I don't know, it's less than a 1/16. It's probably half of that, 3/32, maybe I don't know. It's pretty thin, so I should be able to cut this, and it's aluminum. This was an old sign from Miami that I took down. So you can also let go. You can also use a saber saw to cut this stuff with a metal blade. It goes pretty quickly, but it's a little jaggly. Okay, one piece. And in order to lay these out, I just took, this is the sheared edge. This was from the old sign, and I just, you know, laid that on there, up against there with a square. This is a rafter square, and just laid it up against there on my 1.25 inch mark up here, and just laid the line in, psh, like that, and it's done. Oops. Oops. I'm just using the vise to push against so that I can maintain my line. These cutters, they come in, this happens to be, I think, a straight cutter, but these things come in right hand and left hand cuts if you're going to make circles and stuff. I don't think I have a full set. I have a bunch of cutters, but I just don't have a full set. They also come in a shape that looks like a like scissors. Like this is a, whoops, like this is one here that happens to be a shear, but they come in much larger sizes than that too, so just saying. All right, so these are now 10 inches, and I can use the 10 inches, but I'm going to cut them down to 7, I think. And this I'm going to just have so much stuff, man. And even with that, I built I built this with all these. This is mostly supply type stuff, staples, snaps, whatever. This is mostly tools. There's a pop riveter, mallets, scrapers, saw blades, knives and stuff. This is mostly clamps, but I have some drills and, you know, big drills and stuff. It's just, and then I got more stuff in the bottom. So whatever. All right, so I'm going to cut these to I figured 7 inches. You know, actually, these signs were made on I think that you might be able to pull this plastic stuff off of here. Maybe. Cut towards your buddy, not towards your body. I just want to see if I can get that started. Nah. Well, maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. No. A lot of adhesive of some kind. It's not important because this will take paint, and so when I repaint those, and this stuff will just disappear anyway. So it is coming, but it's not. The whole thing is not coming. All right. Okay. So I'm going to cut these to 7 inches. And the other one is here. the corner got a little screwed up, so same thing, cut it to 7 inches. And we'll just eyeball that. All right, now I'm going to find I have little shorty self-tapping screws that will go through the aluminum and go through the steel and lock on permanently, and that's the end of that. So I've got to find those, so just give me a minute. These are self-tapping screws. They have a drill point on them, and they have broad thread here, so that this will drill the proper hole, and then the threads catch, and they only go in that far. So I have, you know, 2 thicknesses, and the point will stick out. So I have a handful of these. Well, this is, I guess, what we'll use. That's all I need, I guess. There's some sheet metal screws in there also, but okay, so we have that. What do we need? I need a driver. Hey, wrong size, huh? I don't know what size that is, but it's the wrong size. I'll be damned. Huh. Okay, now we're talking. 5/16. Okay, 5/16. So that can go with us. I'm gonna need a hammer, I think. Oops. Hammer pieces. And I can turn off my workshop fan, my workshop light. Oh, here's the here's just another set of metal type shears. Forgot that I had those out here. All right. Pull that entirely off of there, and then I got to see what. Whoops. What's holding these in the bottom? I'm wondering if this is the same size driver. Let's try that and see. Yes, how do you like them apples? Okay, let's see if this will take this out of there. All right, so we need to take this nasty thing off here. This one is still holding. This one is not. Oh, that one ain't gonna, there's nothing left. Okay, that's okay there. Which is the other one? This is this one here. There's nothing left here either. Okay, so even though these might be the right thing, I've got to get something else to take those off with. All right. Let's see. And I'll try this and see how this goes. Oof. These are actually rusting through. I mean, you can stop the rust, or at least maybe not stop it, but you can certainly reduce it a lot by just by painting, by wire brushing the heavy stuff off of there and painting. But these nuts, there's no anything left. So let's see if we can break them free rather. So no. Huh. Nothing to hold on to. Since this tube is so thin and there's so little bite left here, I might be able to take a punch and drive that through. Let's see. Yeah, see, there's nothing there to hold on to. Nothing at all. Nothing left. And even then, it's probably rusted together. All right, let me get a punch and see if we can do that. And then last case would be to drill that out, but I don't want to drill it too big. Punch, punch, punch. All right, maybe. I'll take this one here and this one here. See how those go. All right, let's see here. Oh, look, let's see, that one went right in. Ha! All right, I didn't even need to punch it. All right, good. This one, I still have to persuade it a little bit, I think. Yep, there we go. Same thing there. Okay, so good. So this will be, whoops, pretty straightforward, I think. Let me set these down there. See, this is what I'm talking about. What I ended up doing here apparently is the whole, I probably drilled that one out instead of doing what I just did, and I put a bolt in there because the hole was much too big, so I found whatever I needed. All right, so what we're going to do is take this and wrap it like that. Oof. You know, I think I need to put them on the strap first. So let's do that first. All right, come here. All right. Oh. Make this a little easier on myself. I'm going to take the extender out of here like that. Okay, so now I'm not so far away. Okay, so what I've done is I went through the steel layer, which is going to be harder, and into the aluminum layer, and then I backed it out so that I could get a little offset to the screw, and I'll put the other one in, just holding the two substrates together. I don't want to put it through my hand. Okay, come on now. Okay. We'll do the other one. We'll turn the chair over upside down and put that other screw in, and then this is good to go. Except, of course, it needs to be painted and shit. So, all right. So here's the other piece. Ooh, not a breath of air. It's so hot. Ooh, it is so hot. All right. Same thing here. Okay. Oh my goodness, see this, even the tube down here is starting to rot. All right, well, it is what it is. Shit gets old, man. And worst case scenario is, I mean, you could put a different tube in there, right? I guess. Whoops, there's the other screw. I didn't know what the hell I did with it. All right. Okay, now we can turn the chair back over. Put those screws back where they belong to hold them in place. And the aluminum we'll be there long after the steel is gone. Okay. Okay. One done. The aluminum is obviously much softer than the steel. And that's that. Another afternoon project handled. So I could chop those little pointy things off of there, I suppose. I think that's what I did over here when I've done this in the past. Yeah, these need a little attention. I should get some spray paint and a wire brush and go to work. That's amazing. This was the original color of the chairs. This was the back side, which doesn't get so much sun. This is the front side, and this is the crotch, which hardly sees any sun at all. So, and there you have it. Another afternoon project handled. All right, well, if you learned something and you enjoyed the commentary and to spend a few minutes with a guy who just can't leave well enough alone, I'm always fixing stuff. So anyway, come back and visit. Definitely give me a like if you like it, and subscribe. You know, who knows what's next. I have a couple interesting projects actually. I'm going to build a shower over here, and you say, well, what's your shower? It's going to have block walls and stone and whatever, but it's going to be outside, entirely outside. So that's coming. And I actually plumbed in when I redid the bathroom over here. I actually plumbed in for hot water outside. I moved here. In my other house, I actually built a shower outside, and that was one of the things that I really miss here. And I've been here 5 years now. All these projects that I'm showing you were going to be done during the winter, but of course, instead of doing stuff during the winter, I was repairing the house. The water was like about here. If you look out at the post with the white cap on it that's out there, the water, the storm surge was about 1 inch below the lower edge of that white cap, so you can see where it came to in the outside of the house. And I actually kept water, remarkably, some water from getting inside the house. I still had 28 inches, 28 and a half or 28 and a quarter inches inside the house. So I lost the whole raft of shit. Matter of fact, I was looking for I had two fiberglass, rectangular fiberglass tables that I was going to put out here. I don't know where they went, and I just noticed them missing. They must have floated away with half of the other stuff that floated away that I had in the yard. So anyway, subscribe, like, comment. Love to hear from people. Love to give you advice or talk to you or answer your questions. And I'll see you later. Peace, love, and I'm out. Bye-bye.